All right, guys. Hey, it's Mike at Dragon Drive Addiction. Y'all, welcome to episode 31 of the Dragon Drive Show. I'm on site right here, presented by Summit Racing. Y'all, tonight, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to talk and walk while we look at cars in the background for Hot Rod Drag Week Day 3 route stop. That's probably going to happen a few times while we're doing this. So, Eric, tell them who you are, man. Let's get this thing started.
I am Eric White. I am the co-host for the Dragon Drive News and Dragon Drive Show. When I'm not helping with Dragon Drive, I have my own YouTube channel that I run, which is 815 LSX Swaps.
That's awesome. All right, dude. Kick us off with the intro, and let's get to this.
Guys, I'm here with Dave Teresi, Mr. Energy.
Oh, yeah, I'm psyched to be here. Thanks for having me. And I'm
Oh, we're looking this for a 6-something. That's excited you're here. It's going to be a ton of fun. Great weather.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm really excited about this right here.
All right, so I flipped you guys around. I figured that would be cooler than looking at my face with stuff in the background. So there's probably going to be a few burnouts. I'll try and mute the mic whenever that happens, or at least we can't turn them down. I mean, I don't know how to do that. We're not that sophisticated. I'm sure you can, but that's why you're here is Dragon Drive. I mean, obviously, and I'm right here on site on a Dragon Drive at the moment here at Hot Rod Drag Week. We're somewhere in North Carolina, I think, on our way to Aiken, South Carolina.
Nice. Carl
Yeah.
says you need a beer in your hand.
There has been one, and I appreciate the racer that gave that to me.
Nice.
It's my first one in the last couple of days. It's been a wild few days if you guys have been watching. We ended up staying up till about 4 a.m. this morning, editing videos, getting ready for today from yesterday. I forget what it's like to be by yourself. You know, I can't post anything on the road without being dangerous. You can't edit videos unless you're stopped. It's too hard to do that. So what I'm saying is, I need my buddy.
Yeah,
I need my buddy Eric to come with me.
We were a little spoiled at Midwest Drags, man. We stayed up in the hotel and we were knocking stuff out for sure.
Yep. Well, can we start the show and talk about Jay and Brian?
Do you see that? I don't know. Can you see the comments on the screen?
Oh, oh yeah, I can see them. And the reason I wanted to start that is because these guys have typically been, I'm not going to say they've had good luck. They've always been prepared. And so the car threw them a curveball today. The transmission needed to be rebuilt. First time it's probably needed to be rebuilt or freshened since they've been racing. And that's just a guesstimation. But we come out of the lanes to leave, and they have the transmission completely removed. To do that, you have to take out all of the turbo exhaust, all that kind of stuff. So they've got that all out. And one of the guys, or the co-pilot for David Armentrout, in the beautiful, like, teal-colored, I don't even know what to call it, teal-colored Nova, is over there helping them get it torn apart. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it was fun to watch a little bit of that for just a few minutes, and then we had to bounce.
That's
so I asked Jay, please keep me updated. Let us know what's happening. So he sent me a text a few minutes ago. At 11:40, they pulled the trans, and by 6:10, they were back on the road. Like, they started at 11:40, back on the road at 6:10, complete rebuild of a Power Glide, and also had to go get parts. Like, of course, there's no high performance 1200 horsepower parts on the on any truck there that is available right then. They could have shipped them in, but they didn't have time for that. So I actually ran to a trans builder that was local here in the Bristol, Tennessee area, and picked up the parts and came back, and David's co-pilot helped them rebuild it. So it's pretty cool. And What was really, really cool was the dude that helped them rebuild the transmission. I'll find his name tomorrow. Y'all, he's wearing a Bonneville 200 mile an hour club hat that had been outside. He had worn that hat. It was gross and faded and sweat ring marked. So that was a pretty cool deal to have somebody that had been 200 helping them do that. So that was kind of cool. But they are on the way. They're probably obviously like 6 hours behind us if we left around noon. And so good luck to them. I know we'll see them in the morning because Jay said that the temps are doing good. So
safe travels to those guys. And they're going to be driving all night. So be safe, guys, on the way out. We've got Cohen here saying he's riding in the black 89 Mustang. They're about an hour out.
Oh, nice. So that is David Fontaine and Sandra Fontaine's son.
Yep.
And, you know, the story with the Mustang is that was her dad's car. They trashed on it to get it ready. It's out here. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. And Jay saying Brian has been 200 miles an hour 3 times as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do we want to go over upcoming events?
Yes. Let's start the show with that, and then we're going to dive into some stats from this and stories from the road.
Cool. So the next event is going to be the NHRA Carolina Nationals at ZMEX for that 860 exhibition class. That is September 23rd, which is only 3 days away. That's going to be at the conclusion of Hot Rod Drag Week. The top 2 qualifiers will run heads up on Sunday for a Wally, which I think is pretty freaking awesome.
Well, and what's even cooler is being here. So Brian and Jay are obviously guys that are going to compete in that. And that's why they had to get the car fixed, because that's their whole plan. They have a spare engine waiting for them if they needed that, but they didn't think they would need a transmission. So pretty crazy. And so they're racing that. There's several other people. Steve Brack is here. He's racing in that event. So that'll be pretty fun. And the guy that kind of put all that together named Mike Galemi, he is here. So I got to meet him from Hot Rod Magazine. I've been in the media center with those guys. That's been an eye-opening thing. So I know being around that level of journalism is going to make our stuff even better.
Absolutely. So then the next event is going to be the one that I'm going to be at, which is this Saturday, One Guy's Garage Drag Weekend. And I talked to the promoter and a buddy of mine that works at Byron, and I will be getting a media pass for Saturday at Byron. So that's going to be pretty awesome. That is in 2 days.
2 days. Are you ready? Are you pumped about going to that event, dude?
I'm super excited. I've been talking to the promoters, and we've been talking about the event, and they've been giving me a little bit of history on the event. So I'm real excited to see everybody there.
Oh, yeah. I think that's going to be a group of people that really take you under their wing, and you're going to become part of that family, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure. And then at the same time, in 2 days, is also King of the Open Road in Tucson, Arizona.
Yep.
So both of those start on the same day. Then after that, we've got Redwood Rally, which is September 26th through 30th. That starts in 6 days.
Yep. And that's Clark Rosen's thing, leaving 200-mile-an-hour car right there. It went 200 miles an hour every day of 6 week or 6 summer, except for one. And his goal is 200, I think, here every day.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not a quiet car.
No. Oh, sorry.
Then after that, what's that one?
I'll mute this right here.
That's all right. Those are good sounds, though. After
okay,
that,
I'll unmute it.
Yeah. Whose car is that?
So I don't know who that is. I did speak with this gentleman yesterday at the route stop, and he painted this car, I think, in 1988. 88 or 98, but it's a 1998 or 1988 Dodge Stealth color called Calypso Green. Y'all, beautiful car. He said he's owned it since he was 17 years old. I don't know how old he is, but he has some veteran status for sure.
That's pretty sweet. Do you think we're going to see some trailer burnouts here?
Probably. Well, no, because the problem is the way you leave down that way. So we would maybe hear them, but I don't think we'll be able to see them.
Gotcha.
The folks that are going to do the burnouts are going to leave out the back of the parking lot and come up the side.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So our next event is going to be after Redwood Rally. Is going to be back to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And that is September 29th through October 1st. That's only in 9 days, and you are going to be on site at that event as well.
Now, listen, here's something that I found out today from Matt, because Matt Lang, the promoter, has been working diligently to add car count to this. He's added a full-on shootout back of the track for Sunday, and 30 cars have signed up. Like in
Yes.
5 hours, 30 cars signed up. So
Let's go.
more than doubled the entry field. So, we're looking at a bunch of cars there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, Milan to Lapeer, back to Milan. It's going to be a good time. It's almost like 3 different tracks. We're going to be racing front of the track, no prep, or low prep. They're not going to touch the track at all. And then Lapeer, front of the track, no prep. And then when we go back to Milan, we're racing back of the track.
That is awesome. We got Bill Elkins in here. He's out there.
Yeah. Race car brains.
He's out there somewhere with you guys, right?
Yes. Oh, man. I love it. And so Red Hat Scotty carries around a stuffed animal for his child, right? His daughter.
Yep.
Well, Bill is doing the same thing for his son. And y'all, if you see the sunflower, please, please, please grab that thing, make a funny face, get a picture with the sunflower, because he sends those back to him. That way he can, it's like they're here, but at that young, it's just be too hard, especially with how hard Bill works. He outworked me today and yesterday for sure. Every time I was somewhere, he was there before me and left after me.
That's awesome. He said he's on the road right now.
Yep.
And
Sunflower is living his best life. That's awesome.
Yep. That's been pretty cool to see for sure.
Yep. Sorry, I figured I would ease over by this truck. It's kind of a fun truck. He's got a mailbox for an air scoop. Let's keep going. Back to the streets?
After back to the streets, we got race week. So the Rocky Mountain Race Week is September 30th through October 6th. That's only 10 days away. And you are going to be flying from Michigan to Denver to catch Race Week.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this event because Steven is packing a 10 by 20 tent, and so we're going to tent camp. But I've got to find some rides during the week that I can maybe bounce in and around with other racers, because I'm not going to have a car. So I'll fly into Denver on Monday, and then everybody will get to Denver to race on Tuesday, and then we take a drive day big loop around hopefully the mountains there and race again at Bandamere on Thursday, and then back to Pueblo for Friday.
I'm not going to lie. I did look up flights, and I was trying to see if I could make that happen. I just don't think I'm going to be able to. But
no, dude.
I was really trying to see.
Hey, listen, we'll talk when we get off here.
We got
Chicago to Denver, dude. That's got to be a $40 flight.
Yeah, it was like $116 round trip.
Oh, okay. We'll talk when we get off here.
But it's my kid's birthday and his homecoming on that Saturday, so I would have to try to hurry up and fly out Monday and catch it. It'd be tough.
Yep. So
and then our last event on our list.
Wait, back up. His stuff is the weekend before it starts?
His on the 30th, so when race week starts.
So you could show up late like me.
That's what I was looking at.
Listen, let's discuss this after the show. Hey, if everybody would like Eric to come to race week with me, tell us in the chat. Tell us in the chat in the comment.
There you go.
Okay, anyways.
And
let's keep going, man. What do we got next?
Our last event on our list is Street Machine Magazine's Drag Challenge. That is October 10th through 14th, and that is 20 days away.
Yes.
Is that Mr. Jeremy Howell? Yep. Is that Jeremy Howell?
Yep. Jeremy Howell here. He had a rough go of it a little bit earlier. I still can't talk to him because he's got to keep racing, and we'll talk to him on Friday after he makes his last pass. It's been bad luck for these guys when we had them on the show, and we want them to finish and do all that stuff.
Yep, that's definitely a unique car there, the GT350 swapped Fox body.
Yep. What's up?
And then is that the Supra behind it?
It is.
And that's is that Miss PSI?
That's right, and she's been so great to tag us in so many stories and so many posts. I went to her today and I said thank you, but I know that doesn't. Yeah, that's not enough. So if you don't follow her on Instagram, you need to go do that. MISSPSI. on Instagram.
Yep.
So she's putting out, documenting the whole trip, and the shorts and stories are all great from them.
Yep. All right, so that's the end of our events. I'm going to play our Molly ad read real quick so we can thank our sponsors, and then we'll get into some stats for what's going on at Drag Week.
Perfect.
Molly Motorsports is the official piston of DragOnDrive.com. Molly's Power Pack piston is the perfect candidate for your drag and drive car. Molly Motorsports competes in drag and drive events and supports our community. Project manager Eric Grillo raced a 10-second stick shift Nova at Hot Rod Drag Week 2022. He's also competed in Rocky Mountain Race Week last year with his C10 truck. Visit mollymotorsports.com for the most recent line of products.
And I have seen pictures of his car, so I know he is also on Drag Week as well.
Who's that?
Eric Grillo.
Yes, he's here. I talked to him earlier today and met, like as we were leaving, I talked with Eric and then the new social media guy from Molly. And so we're going to get together first thing in the morning, go over some fun things that to work for in the future for Molly Motorsports. I'm really excited about the meeting. Joe, our other contact is still there because nobody ever leaves Molly Motorsports North America, but they've moved this other guy into the role, and so it took some pressure off of Eric so he can develop more products.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, dude. Let's jump into some stats. Obviously, guys, I've really only been following closely the street race small block power rider class. So Eric's got some stats from the other classes, the leaders and things like that. And then as I remember those names and those cars, then I'll chime in.
Yep. So first thing we're going to cover is the fastest passes. I know we don't normally keep track of those, but I did see these and I thought there was some interesting stuff in here. So fastest pass on the spreadsheet so far is Tom Bailey, 6.542 at 215 miles an hour.
Yep, and that was on day 2, I think.
I think
maybe
so.
Maybe it was today. I don't know. I can't remember. So real quick, they've been working on this since I got here, and she is currently in second place for the SME class. So they've got to get this car working. Jeanette Jane, I can't remember how to say her name. Lynette and Houston or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, she's attended Drag Week, I think, like 9 or 10 times.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Second quickest pass is Bryant Goldstone. That's with a 6.685 at 216. And then we got Devin Vanderhoof with a 7.020 at 197.
Yep. So Josh Davis is actually driving the car, and they're going to get that changed up tomorrow. So Devin is obviously the car owner, but Josh Davis is actually the driver for this event. He actually drove it in 6th week.
Yep.
So there's some Drag and Drive World Champion opportunities that they may take up here. I think Devin, is leading his class as well. So there's Rob Courtney. Hey, in the building, or that big field is dark too. Rob has a full rooftop tent behind the all-wheel drive stick.
Oh, really?
Really a cool setup. So him and I talked a lot about what is in the future for him. So.
And then one other interesting stat here that I found was Jerry and Matt Sweet had broke the single pass Pro Street NA record with a 7.845 at 171.89.
Man, that's awesome. And those guys, I got a great interview with them yesterday. I just didn't have time to edit it, but listen, that Sonny's Timmy in that car is insane. He said it's around 800 cubic inches.
Wow.
It's gigantic. Like, when they went to put it in, it wouldn't even fit in the frame rails. Like, they had to completely change the front end of that car to fit. I mean, like, I don't think they changed the frame rails itself. I think it would fit in the frame rails, but they couldn't get the headers in or anything like that. So
yeah. So that record was previously held by Doc McIntyre from 2017 with a 7.89.
Yep. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a huge win for the Sweets because they were going to go twin turbo on the other big block they had in it. And Jerry said in this video you'll see, Jerry said they had a family meeting, and he said that they were not done with NA stuff yet. So then they went and bought a Sonny's Hemi, and it's crazy. It's crazy the size of this thing. It's gigantic. Like the
Yeah.
valve covers are at the hood line. So it's pretty wild.
So now we're going to jump in and we're going to cover leaders of each class. So
Well, hang on just a second. I just thought of something. So
Yep.
here's a struggle that folks are going to have if they've been watching the live stream. There is a car that has gone faster than those listed. It's the fastest ET and mile an hour of the event.
would it be this
But
one?
they're not legal to run that. So yeah. So 407 today at 236 miles an hour, and he probably has the third fastest pass yesterday, but it was one of the hairiest passes I don't know I've ever seen. He went down and got all kinds of. I'm going to say the back end was out, and he was still driving through it to make his pass. It was impressive. It was very impressive.
It's a wild looking car for sure.
Yeah. And then Alan Whitaker, got a great interview with him about his Monte Carlo, and he's been in the low sevens, but those guys are struggling with their licensing, both him and Ned, for approval for that or to get their licensing passes in, and he's been sevens in that car. And what's crazy is today he picked up 40 miles an hour on the back half, which is a lot.
Wow.
If anybody knows, it's a lot. So that car makes a ton of power, like a 1.3 60 foot, and that car's been 1.0 60 foots and still ran 190 something miles an hour. I think 180 something miles an hour. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Cool car. Anyway.
And you got some cool pictures of that at the gas station that we got uploaded yesterday.
Well, so for everybody that knows me, I'm more of a video guy, right? I enjoy talking about cars, looking at cars, writing videos of cars. But I've really challenged myself with this one to try and grab some of the shots that Eric would be grabbing if he was here, because that really is kind of that's what works for our niche, right? So you are great at photos. You have a great eye for photography, and your photo editing ability is great as well. I don't do either of those very well, but I figured I would snap some pictures between now and then. And today, Eric, long distance patted me on the back because I got some rollers that are going to come out. When do you think they'll come out tomorrow? Maybe.
Oh no, they'll be up after this.
Oh, perfect. So that'll be on our Facebook album for Hot Rod Drag Week.
Yep.
Albums on the Facebook group. So, or on the Facebook page, and then we'll share those to the Facebook group, the Drag and Drive Addicts group.
Yep, I told you, as long as you could get me some clear shots, I'll make them look good.
That's right. Yep, and I appreciate that. And you've done that so far, so I'm going to keep my end of the bargain the rest of the time.
All right, so leader of classes. So the unlimited class, first place there is Tom Bailey in the 69 Camaro with an average of 6.6902.
Wow.
Next class is unlimited iron. That is, first place is Bryant Goldstone, 73 AMC Javelin. That is with an average of 6.8402.
Man, that car is so fast.
Yeah. Next class is Pro Street Power Adder, and that is Tony Hayes in a 66 Nova with an average of 8.1076.
Does it say what color it is?
I can tell you because I still have that up.
Because they have two Novas of that body style here. One is gray and one's I don't know if you call it purple or whatever.
Yep, it's listed as being purple.
Awesome. So that car is huge big block Chevrolet and a lot of nitrous. And then I'm actually showing you guys right now the gray car that is Graham's car, and they built this car complete in 19 days. It was painted and the chassis work done, but they put it all together in 19 days. Now, do we want to tell the story of the airplane? Should we tell the airplane story since we're talking about the Hayes?
Yeah, why not?
Do you know this story?
I don't know that I do, which is why I'm telling you to go for it.
Okay, are you ready for this? So the guys had struggles with a lifter or a rocker arm in their Fulton engines new setup in the purple car. Okay. Their engine builder lives about 3 hours from where they're stuck on the side of the road. He's like, no problem. If I get in my ultralight and fly down and put it in a padded box, can I drop it out of the airplane to where you guys are?
No way.
They were like, we probably better not do that. We're right by the interstate. Would hate to lose these parts in this big field. So he lands at an airport about 10 minutes from them. They drive over, pick up the parts, come back and fix it, and that car is in first place in their class.
That is incredible.
If you don't have an engine builder like that, I mean, would your engine builder get in his? I mean, GM is my engine builder because we use stock bottom end stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that when you're running. What'd you say you got? 8.0 average.
Yeah, that's 8.1076.
Wow, that's crazy, crazy.
And then we got Pro Street NA, and that is Andrew Starr in the 56 Bel Air with an average of 9.7047.
Nice, and that's a big tire, big block stick shift car.
Yep.
Yeah, Andy Starr's been on the channel before. He's been a guest on one of our podcasts. That was before we did the show, I think, right?
Yep, it was before the show when we were doing the podcast before Drag and Drive Addiction.
Yep, and he actually put in the bass tune that the Sweets ran that record-setting number on. Was just a very limited bass tune.
Oh, that's cool.
So pretty neat setup there. Yeah, he's a great dude. Him and I have talked a couple of times. I got a good interview with him. He was putting in a new oil cooler in the car to try and get some temps down.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Next class is Modified Power Adder. That is Devin Vanderhoof, who's listed on there, obviously, with the 93 Mustang with an average of 7.2483.
I'm good. How are you, sir? And he, they've ran right up against sixes all 3 days, I think. Maybe broke into it. I don't know. But that car is on a mission. Josh Davis is driving that car.
Nope, their quickest pass so far is at 7.020.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Our next class is the Super Street Big Block Power Adder. The leader of that is Rick Trunkett in the 72 Duster with an 8.0744.
That's awesome.
And he was one of them that raced at the NHRA exhibition when I went to Joliet as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was. Several of those big three racing is their company.
And then we've got Super Street Small Block Power Adder. We got our buddy there, Ryan Hargett, in the 2011 Mustang with an average of 7.3406.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something, and everybody's listening to this right now. Hey, there's Jesse. I think he's live too. He's live too. Yeah, Ryan ran a personal best in that car of a 716 today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday. 716 in that car. It has the capability to run 6. Helen, it's that car's nuts. It's a Coyote setup, 5-liter Coyote. Basically a factory, not factory bottom end, but factory dimensions, whatever you'd say that.
Yep.
Bore and stroke on that. 2 huge turbos on methanol. Just awesome. Drives it everywhere all the time.
Yep. I just hope I can be there when he finally runs a 6.
Oh man, me too. Me too. Well, if he ran 716, because he didn't realize he had gone that fast.
Oh really?
Until he got his slip. Yes, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now like if you run a 716, you're immediately thinking, I'm going to turn it up on Friday.
Right. I hope so.
Yeah. So we've heard that Darlington is already working on their track to get it ready for us to come back on Friday. So it should be pretty epic. There's going to be some folks struggling to work with all the new traction. We're hoping.
Yes, sir. All right. Our next class is All Motor Big Block, and our leader of that is Michael Reminis. I apologize if I screw that up, but he is in an 89 Mustang with an average of 8.6638.
Oh, I know that it's like a maroon car, and that the engine is the same like in the Sweeps. That thing is like valve covers out of the engine bay.
Really?
Insanity, man, insanity. Yeah, and loud, so loud. That's what I have such a hurdle with on NA stuff. It's just so loud.
Yeah.
So for 2 days, I forgot my earplugs in the car. But once you're up recording, the drag week breaks down by A and B and C and D classes. So it's like by time. So if you're not ready to go when A and B comes up, you're there for 2 hours waiting because you got to get all the fast cars. You got to get all the cars we're watching, which is Super Street or Street Race Small Block Power Adder and all that 850 type stuff.
Yep.
You got to stay there because they're all jumbled in. So anyways, let's move on.
Next class is all motor small block, and that is Jason Tapscott in the 1970 Camaro with an average of 8.7956.
Yeah, little slower than what they did at Stick Week, I think, or maybe even last year. But listen, Jesse and I have stopped twice today. They've been on the side of the road. They are breaking valve springs every hour. They break at least not just breaking a valve spring, destroying valve springs every hour, at least one.
That's not good.
So, yeah, so they're working through that. They've got a couple valves tied up currently, like there's no valve spring on them. He's gotten into another box of valve springs to try and, like, that aren't rated for the new cam and valve train setup that's in it. So it's pretty crazy. And I see Jay Blanche said if Ryan doesn't turn it up, he'll never hear the end of it from me. I'm telling you, that car's got it in it, and he's got the support to do it here. I think there's people that are wanting him to lean on that car and do it safely. Obviously, we don't want to see him break it.
Right.
Because it takes at that level, it is so expensive to get stuff back together. I see Danny Fatka asked how many cars are out. As of this morning, there were only 20 cars that were out, which is around, roughly, it's less than 10%. So that's way better than typical. But I've always said day 3 is hardest on the car and day 4 is hardest on the people.
Yep.
Jesse's over here hiding in behind me.
Jay says Acton will drive it for the weight savings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Jay and Brian has been needling at Ryan about letting Brian drive the car.
Yeah.
On Friday. So we're talking about Jay Blanchard, about Ryan, or 7-16 pounds.
So when you see Jesse there, ask him where he was going in Binney, where it looked like he was out in the Galaxy.
Yeah. So where exactly were you headed? Well, actually, that shot is from my camera of the Galaxy, and that's how I felt behind Benny. I was maybe a little high, and
it doesn't smoke that bad.
Oh, I don't know. You
even told me it wasn't as bad as that other car that we were behind the other day.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. We were behind a Nissan Altima. So it was the Nissan Altima, then the Volvo, then my little Saturn Rocket, and I'm sure people thought that I was just getting smoked out back there. The Altima had no rings left in it.
Well, I think in our photo album, it's going to be like Where's Waldo going forward. We're going to have a kind of a fun picture with Jesse's Volvo, each album that gets dropped.
Yeah, so I'm convoy for the folks that haven't been watching. I'm convoying with Jesse, tent camping at the tracks and things like that. He's teaching me the ways of the Nomad Drag and Drive racer or media, Drag and Drive media. Yep. And so I've been taking roller shots and different shots, and Eric is messing with those. And the one today was great, or yesterday was great with the Cosmic in the background. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah. All right, our next class is Street Race Big Block Power Adder, and that's Randy Belhair in a 68 Firebird with an average of 8.5953.
Nice. That's a clean car, super clean car.
And then we have Street Race Big Block NA with first place there is Kurt Johnson in a 91 Mustang with an average of 8.7674.
Here's one interesting stat about Kurt Johnson. He's won 10 times at Drag Week. He's won A class 10 times.
Wow.
So he's used to figuring out what it takes to make it happen.
Nice. Next class is Street Race Small Block Power Adder. And our leader in here is Dustin Trance in the 2005 Mustang with an average of 8.5042.
I don't know if anybody in that class, and this is one stat I'm going to look at when I get stopped tonight. I don't know if anyone in that class has ever put up zeros every day. He has a Monday he ran an 8502.
I've got
Tuesday
those.
he ran an 8508, and then today he ran an 8502. It was insane. Nobody's ever finished with an O, like an 850 average at Drag Week. Well, ever really in the Street Race Small Block Power Adder or its equivalents across all Drag and Drive events. So we'll see. There's 2 more days. Again, day 3 is hard. Dustin had a little bit of food poisoning Monday night, so didn't get hardly any sleep at all Monday night. Came in Tuesday, ran the 508, suffered through it, got a lot of sleep Tuesday night, and then ran the 502 today. He said he felt a little better, but was still suffering a little bit. So who knows what that means? Does he get another bit of sushi at the gas station, and now he's in trouble again,
Yeah. Sushi, gas station sushi is not the answer.
No, that's for sure. So if you can do me a favor, if you can pull up that PDF from Hot Rod, I'd like to dig into that class a little bit, maybe go over the averages for the top 5. I haven't talked to Randy Seward yet, who's in second place. I have not had a chance to talk to him, but I was telling you before we started recording, or before we started the live show, that car is, to me, as a 42-year-old man that graduated in 1999, that car is what I would have built in 2001 or 2 or 3. It is full exhaust, Fox body, notchback, like a teal color. You can stand by that car and it sounds like a cammed, like a E303 or B303 Ford cam. You remember what, like, just do some Flowmasters. It just sounds good. It doesn't sound like it's a car that's going to bust off low 850 passes. He ran an 8.517, I think, today, 516 as his best pass or something like that. I can't remember. I've got it all written down, or no, it's all typed into my phone. Everybody's pass for the classes in my phone. I wasn't thinking ahead on that.
Yeah, I'll pull that up once we finish these stats here because I already got it up on the screen too.
Okay.
Next class is Street Race Small Block NA, and that is Jeff Sayas in a 90 Mustang with an average of 9.6652.
Nice. I don't remember that car.
And then we've got Gasser A-Gas. That is Wayne Baker in the wheelie machine that we did the video on. 63 Nova. I did get a kick out of the spreadsheet for the color. It just said rust.
Yeah, and it is rust. But I talked to Wayne on Monday, and we were talking about that car and the wheelies and all that kind of stuff in the live stream on Monday morning when we were doing tech, or Sunday morning when we were doing tech. And he said he put longer wheelie bars on it and moved some of the weight around, and the car didn't wheelie like it used to, and it doesn't, but it's gone faster. He's gone 919, I think, best pass this week that I remember.
His average right now, he's obviously first in his class. His average is 9.0922.
Oh, so does he have an 8 in there then?
We'll have to check that once we finish up here.
Nice, okay.
Gasser B Gas, and I'm going to screw this last name up, but it's Dominic Zaveshik in a 55 Chevy 210 with a 10.0415.
And then second place in that class, I was just talking to those guys, and his co-pilot, the new, I guess Dominic's co-pilot, raced at the circuit in April. So he said they're coming back. They're actually going to bring both cars. So kind of exciting.
That's cool. And we got a couple more classes here, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Hot Rod class is Mark Fisher in 32 Ford pickup with an average of 9.1551.
That is a crazy story. If you guys have been listening to the live stream, David Freiberger was talking like Martin just had brain surgery a few months ago.
Oh, wow.
And used the motivation to get Drag Week to, get all of his I'm sure they had, he had rehab and things like that for whatever part they were working on. But use that to get motivated and have the truck out. I think Mark has been at like 10 or 11 different drag weeks, and that truck has won that class several times.
Yeah, it's like a flat maroon color.
Yep, like a rusty primer is kind of what I would call it, like a rusty colored primer.
Yep.
It's really a neat truck, and oh my goodness, it's loud.
And then our last class is Street Machine Eliminator.
Mm-hmm.
And the leader of that is Mike Ramars with a
Rymars,
2011 Shelby GT 500 with a 10.0422.
Yeah, those guys really put the hurting on it today. And Lynette here is second place in that class. And I know that because I was talking to, I think it's Mike's brother that is his co-pilot. And they were making multiple passes today to make sure that they were staying ahead of her.
There you go. And then a couple more stats here. We've got some of the tight races in the classes. Pro Street Power Adder. First place is Tony Hayes in that 8.1076. And second place is Evan Yerkowitz in an 8.1979.
Oh my gosh. So 002 difference?
1076 to 1979.
Wow. So see, my mom is asking there, where am I? We're somewhere in, I think we're still in North Carolina right now. But we're headed to Aiken, South Carolina, to Carolina Dragway for the night. We'll camp there again tonight, or camp there tonight. And that's in Aiken. It's called the House of Hooks. So that's where we're headed after we leave this and shut down the live stream and all that.
Nice. A couple more tight classes. We've got the Street Race Small Block Power Adder. Dustin Trance is leading that again with an 8.5042. Second place is Randolph Seward with an 8.5143.
Yep.
Third place is Rick Steinke in an 8.5153. And then we've got Chris Mary at an 8.5423 and Mark Campbell at an 8.5895. So all, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. All five of them have an 8.5 average.
Yep. And so there's an interview again that I'll get edited tonight or tomorrow with Jay, and he's talking about the difference in running like an 08 and running because they ran a 510 yesterday. And so he was like, we really needed a 50 something. And I said, well, how do you literally change from 0.003? Like, how do you cut 0.003 out of your time slip, out of your ET? And he said, it's literally the inches that you roll between lighting the bulbs.
Oh, wow.
So it could be 2 inches that you were staged further out that created the 508 compared to a 511.
Wow.
2.5, 3 inches. I mean, that's crazy, the level of thought that goes into those classes.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, for anybody that is watching at home, and it's just now leaving, but this gray that's coming under here, coming under the awning there.
Yep.
If you look at the car number, if you can see it when they're up there, if it has an L on it, that is the Street Race Small Block Power Adder class.
Gotcha.
Just thought I would keep you guys updated on that for when you're at home. You can find all that stats on the PDF that Eric is pulling this information from.
And then we got 2 more tight classes, and you've already talked about both of these. So the Gasser B-Gas with Dominic with a 10.0415 in the lead. But second is Jamie Jarvis at a 10.0561.
Yeah, it's crazy tight. They got out of the car a few minutes ago and we're talking about it. And they were just pumped that they were even in the mix that close. Guys, so this guy right here, Matt Zelenko, he is street to strip photography. So make sure you're following that. Where are all of your social media? Like Instagram, Facebook? Instagram and Facebook. Awesome. Street to strip. But the number two. So I rode with him on sick week, which is why I know him. We shared a minivan to sleep in for about 4 hours.
There you go.
Yeah.
And our last tight class is the Street Machine Eliminator. Again, Mike Ramirez at a 10.0422. And then second is Lynette, and not sure how to pronounce that last name.
I think it's Jane Houston.
Yeah. But she has a 10.0708.
Yep. It's very, very tight. That class is always really tight. What's cool about SME is they will actually take the top 32 from that class. So the 32nd person in line could have like a 10-8 or a 10-9, and they're going to run a bracket at the end of the week on Friday afternoon to determine the class.
And that's Lynette there, right?
Yeah, she's actually loading a few things up in the car. I hope that doesn't mean bad things. But they are moving in. Or driving in circles. I don't know what they're doing. We're live if you want to tell us a story.
It's broke.
It's broke. Well, let's start off by asking, how many times have you competed at Drag Week?
At least 10.
Can you hear Eric?
At least 10.
Yep,
At
I can
least
hear.
10.
At least 10.
That's awesome. And always SME?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And then how many times in that car?
This one has been 4.
Wow, that's awesome. So we were just talking about the stats for SME and how tight the number 1 and 2 spot is.
Correct.
So Eric, can you pull up the stats and see what the new number 2, what the difference is there? So you guys have been thrashing on that thing. What happened?
Driving along, both of us are kind of ignoring. We're kind of hearing this lovely little knocking sound. Both kind of ignoring it. I'm thinking, okay, he's not saying anything. It can't be that bad. He's not saying anything because he knows, she's going to get upset. So finally it got loud enough that I'm like, all right, what is wrong with this thing? So he's like, yeah, we're going to have to pull over. We were debating stopping a town or 2 back. Ended up instead thinking, all right, let's at least limp it to the checkpoint where everybody is. So that's what we did and got here. And so not sure if it's a rod, not sure if it's a lifter, but
Yep, it's too much to fix in the Expo 300 parking lot.
That it is, yes. And I had just looked because they had the day 3 results came out. So my average was a 10.07 flat, and number 1 was a 10.04.5.
Yep. Yeah. 10.04.5, is that right?
I think.
10.0422.
Yeah, 10.04. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, very tight. Very tight. All right. Well, so are you guys going to continue on? Do you live close? What's the plan?
Well, we're from Wisconsin, so it is
not close.
Not close at all. So this gentleman that we met that just came and decided to help us out is going to give us a ride to the Holiday Inn.
Awesome.
And then we're going to get an Enterprise rent-a-car tomorrow, right down to Darling to get the second trailer and South Carolina nice.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you and hang out with you.
Where at in Wisconsin?
Eric's asking where at in Wisconsin.
Halfway between Green Bay and Milwaukee. So if you know where Road America is, Elkhart Lake, we're right outside of Elkhart Lake.
Okay, so that's not too far from me then.
Oh, you're not far from Eric, you said.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
I'm,
we'll have to come over there and do like an on-site build for Drag and Drive.
There you go. You can come out to the house. We got the 40 by 80 shop, the lift, the whole works. Yeah.
Dude, you better go to this place. 40 by 80 shop. You better move in.
Yeah, 40 by 80 shop. We're good. You can come right over.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. 40 by 80 shop.
Right.
Wow. I'm in.
So looking at the spreadsheet, it looks like Michael Kalbfeld and a 66 Chevelle will take over second place with a 10.1012.
Wow. That's cool. So this Bryant Goldstone just pulled in. I'm trying to see who else is back here behind us.
What's up, trouble?
Yeah, somebody.
What are you doing now?
Somebody earlier had commented, "What's the story with Goldstone?"
I don't know. So I heard earlier that they had put a rear axle in the car in a gas station parking lot. So maybe we can get some info here from the man himself as he climbs out. I'll let you stretch, and then you got to tell us the story. So, yeah, that's one thing about driving 6-second cars is the cage in these is, I mean, you have to think like how many bars are just in that car to keep you safe at almost 200 miles an hour.
Right.
Or I guess over 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, pretty crazy.
Well, while we wait for him, a couple other interesting stats I had was, and you kind of already, I think you've already called all of them. Justin Trance ran a 8502 day 1, 8508 day 2, and then an 8502 day 3.
So we're live on the channel. We're doing the Drag and Drive show, and we heard. Oh, thank you, man. That's awesome. Did y'all hear that? We got famous people that watch it.
Came up and it actually kept us awake. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're wasting your time on those like store car things.
Well, I had heard a story that you guys put a rear end in it or an axle.
Yeah, well, last night the reluctor ring fractured the seal. We lost our drive shaft sensor the other night.
Oh man!
And the other day at the racetrack. Well, we didn't know it, but it was broken. And actually ruined the seal.
But it's spinning at 200 plus miles an hour.
Yeah, something happened. But it actually didn't do anything until we were rolling, and then we were about halfway there last night, and then all of a sudden, poof, I stopped at that first checkpoint, or the only checkpoint, and it was dripping shit off the back of the wheelie bars. it lost 3/4.
Oh my gosh! How many quarts are in that? Probably. Oh man, that's
we
bad.
drained it. It was almost work left.
Wow!
So didn't hurt anything except steel's done.
Yep.
We had another center section. Just rolled that in there.
Oh, there you go.
A little bit different gear ratios. We weren't sure how it was going to act, but it seemed to work right.
Yeah, we're acting well today. What'd you run today?
68.
Yeah. Come on, that's awesome.
That's Brian Robbins' tuner.
Oh yeah, the man. How many drag and drives have y'all done?
We've done about 4 or 5 together, I think. And then my other buddy Brent Baker's done probably 4 or 5 with me. And then Rob Sanders did the 6 summer.
Yep.
These guys can't get enough time off to work.
Hey, that's the way it works sometimes. And sometimes I'm sure it's like, oh man, I'd love to, but we've seen inside the car. That's probably pretty hard to ride 300 miles.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But,
it wears you out. Then every once in a while, the guy driving gets to turn on the water pump, and I'm like looking out. I said, "It's raining. If it starts raining any harder, we're gonna have to go over and put the hood on." Then he's like, "Wait a minute, it's only raining on your side of the car."
Oh no!
So now I got like antifreeze on my face.
Yeah.
Not antifreeze, but what is it called? I don't know what's the stuff we use in the water wetter. Water wetter. I feel like water wetter, which is kind of like
just kind of slimy.
A little bit slimy, a little bit stinky, a little bit stinky.
Yeah.
I don't know how you went to sleep like that. Rolled in the bed and went to sleep.
Days like, yep. Yeah. Hey, listen, I've done that.
I was you were right, because I took a shower and was up for an hour listening to you snore. And then I got 2 hours of sleep instead of 3. So.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, good luck. We'll see you tomorrow.
Right, man.
Yeah. So that's the drag and drive life right there. You, especially at this level, like that's what a lot of folks don't understand. Even just because you build a really, really nice car and have really probably the best parts available for these cars to go that fast, you're still going to have struggles. So if you're not ready to work on your car on the side of the road, you don't need to do drag and drive. But if you want to have, there's a car right there. If you want to meet people that will be lifelong friends and travel with you in a convoy like this, there's Jason Russo, also in the Street Race Small Block Power Rider class.
And a handful of guys coming
in. You need to do drag and drive. What'd you say?
I said a handful of guys are coming in now.
Oh yeah, and so this is typically what you'll see, right? That's why it's never bad to just hang out at a checkpoint for a while, especially for guys like Jesse and I, and when Eric's here with me, is because we typically are driving cars that aren't hard to drive, right? Like the little Saturn's got AC and all that kind of stuff, right? So you hang out here for a little while, you get to see really cool cars. Now this car, I'm going to drop it, Eric, one of my favorites.
Yeah,
right?
there we go.
Steven in here saying him and the kids are watching on the say hi to everybody over there, nieces and nephews. What's up? The this car exterior, little rusty dusty, kind of love it, crusty Nova. Interior, absolute legit. I mean, like carbon fiber floors, beautiful cage work, all the stuff that matters. It's a gorgeous car. They've been fighting some really serious electrical issues. The car will launch and leave and then just die. And they can generally get it started about 300 feet out, but it takes a second, so everybody pauses all the process. So,
Yeah.
this car is another fun car to watch. RX-7 was a RX-8, yeah,
Yep.
7. RX-8 was a gigantic intake. Pro Charger set up here on the front. Yeah.
Very, very
Good time.
cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of one of my favorites, you got a little sneak peek of some giveaway stuff for PRI, didn't you?
I did. Do you have any pictures of that pulled up by chance?
I have it sitting right next to me if you want me to show it.
Should we show it? I think we probably should.
I think so.
And so this is something that's very, very special. Guys, Race Car Friends is what my brain immediately goes to when I see cool cars that are out and about, right? And we want you to do the same thing. But we are taking a huge leap to spend the money to have a booth and award show at PRI. Like, this is a big step, we feel, forward for the community and the entire Drag and Drive movement to level up. And to celebrate that, we're ordering 100 of these that Eric is going to show you in just a second. Oh, no, put it down. Oh, you showed it. So 100 of these. This will be for the first 100 people that come and talk to us at the booth on Thursday morning. So, okay, show it to us. This is really cool. Eric designed this. We will do these every year. Even if we don't have a booth at PRI, we'll have somewhere to hang out at PRI all the time. So I think we'll probably always do a booth from now on because I think it will help push the Drag and Drive movement. And that's what we want to do. We want to take it mainstream. We want to talk about it all the time. We want to introduce new people to it any chance we can. So those are 3-inch, right?
Those are 3-inch, yep.
Yep. And that is our gift to the first 100 people that are going to come there and say hi to us, get some selfies and things like that. But we're also going to do stuff for the rest of the folks that come. It just won't be as cool as that decal. I want to show you something here too, because there's a lot of talk. Redhead Scotty was in here a few minutes ago. We've all have dived off into vintage BMX bikes and having the bikes we had when we were kids. So here's a vintage Haro that will make some folks salivate.
Yeah.
And Andy keeps this on the back of his trailer. And so I was over there talking to him in our interview, and I said, tell me about the bike on the back. What's the story there? And he said, well, I don't know anything about it. It's got a good chain on it, and a friend gave it to me to ride around. So it's his junker bike. There's a lot of us adult men who would love to have a bike like that as our pride and joy for bikes we had when we were kids. So things like this are coming back in style. You're seeing a lot more like, Paulie C. Castiglione with the Schwinn Stingrays. That's always a cool shot to see those guys doing that stuff. Josh Norris here. I think he is in Street Race Small Block NA. I can't remember which class he is in, but this car is beautiful. I think, and this is going to make some folks mad, but this generation Nova or Chevy 2 may be the new Fox body of Drag Week. It has more room. It has cooler lines, in my opinion, than a Fox body. But there are several of these that are here, and they're anywhere from the Krusty Nova style all the way up to Josh Norris's setup with the Hilborn stacked injection. And the reason he's running with Andy Starr is because Andy Starr worked and developed a lot of the Hilborn injection stuff, so he's helping him tune the car to go faster.
That's cool.
Yeah, kind of a neat deal.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I was looking through some of the other stuff, and I saw our leader in Street Machine Eliminator. He had ran a 10.057. Day 2, he ran a 10.003.
Yeah.
And then today ran a 10.067. So 10 O's all 3 days so far.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, and that's what it takes in index style racing like that to be that competitive. One thing that doesn't show us is how many passes those guys made, and what we know from that kind of racing at Midwest Drags, those guys will make 6, 7, 8, 10 passes a day to get those numbers down. I was talking to Mike's brother earlier before I left the track, and they were back up for at least the third pass that I had seen, and he was working on like quarter degrees of timing to stay out in front. So now maybe he can breathe a little easier, because the one thing about SME is like the 850 class, you can't run faster. You
Right.
can't run faster than 10.0 to bring your average down. So
Yep.
kind of a neat deal. You guys will remember this truck from the circuit, Steve Brack.
Yep. And was at Hot Rod Drag Week last year in Byron.
Yep. Looks like he's been at a lot of them.
Yeah. One other thing I noticed, it's not Drag Week related, but speaking of index racing, I saw that Zach Stevens, I believe, blew up his engine in the Camaro.
Because he made 400 passes on at Midwest Drags.
Yeah, he had a video that I saw of racing. It might have been a Tesla. I can't remember. It was at some event, and he said that he raced right before he blew the engine.
Wow.
So unless that was an older video that he reposted, he might be down an engine. And it sounded like, I believe he's in school, and he's not going to be able to get it fixed before he starts classes.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know what his next event was, but I thought about reaching out to him and trying to get the full story on that.
Right. Can I show you something that's really neat?
Of course.
Let me show you this. How about that on this roof rack?
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was built by Jeff Mall. And don't worry, we're talking with him about is this something that would be a good fit for the Drag and Drive brand?
Yeah.
So, obviously a basket for the top of trailers, but there's a lot of opportunity there. I think, you need that just one extra spot. One thing that's really neat, we probably shouldn't tell this to everybody, but in that cooler, the vintage cooler hides a generator.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I think we're seeing guys have their cars lined out. This car here is awesome, runs 8s and 9s, consistently does amazing burnouts all the time. Did a huge one for us yesterday, but now we're seeing the trailer game go to the next level, and guys build trailers, stylize their trailers after their cars, things like that. We're seeing that game elevate as well.
Yeah.
So if you think a custom rooftop basket would be in your future, message me. Let's talk.
Yeah, for sure.
We may kind of put together maybe a group buy or something like that.
So
but we're talking. Sorry, hang on, real quick. We're talking about trailers. I want to show you Josh Norris's setup.
I gotta hold your titty.
He has hood mount there on the back. It Zeus's onto the hood mount, or Zeus's onto the roof mount, so he can just throw it off. Yeah, we're live. It's okay. They've heard that before. And then how cool is this? This is like what you would be. There would be a generator inside of this that would have a pole that come up and lights the parking lots at night. Kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just going to say the only other thing I had on my notes for tonight was talking about cars that have broke. So I don't know how much information you have on any of these racers. I know Matt Frost is out.
Yeah, sadly. And what's crazy about Matt Frost's deal, I'm sure everybody has seen the pictures by now, but he smoked the Pro Charger that was on that car and replaced it with a bigger one. So they had to cut the cross member or that one bar out of the cross member to make it fit. Changed all the not intercooler, the cold side piping to fit, all that kind of stuff, and then turns out they had hurt the transmission before that, and it's most likely what smoked the Pro Charger.
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah. So they're headed home. That's pretty sad. But again, I'd heard Freiberger say 20 cars as of this morning were out, so very low numbers. And then I see Devin pulling in here. Devin and Josh.
A couple other ones, Jerry and Matt Sweet. I saw them.
That's so sad.
I saw them roll up to the line, and I thought they broke the beams today, but there was no time recorded on the PDF, so I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, I'll have to message them and see what's going on.
Another
Daily
one
Misfire.
is
Yeah. So hung out with them today and did some shirt swapping. I swapped the Dragon Drive Addiction shirt for one of their shirts, and we actually sponsored part of their trip. Not a whole lot of money sent there, but I hope that some exposure that we can give them will help him grow. Great channel, great, super cool car. Again, I don't know what generation they call these Novas, but it's one of those.
very cool.
Yeah.
Glenn Hunter is another one who is out.
Man, that's sad.
I don't know if you know any story on him.
I don't. I thought he was in. So
Brian
shows how much.
Hadlick.
Yep. I mean, were we surprised?
And then Scott Glassbrook in the Eagle Talon.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite cars.
Yep, and Kanan Hall in the C10 truck.
Yep, that's sad too. I had meant to catch them today. I saw them today, so that's sad. Yeah, lots of cool folks, lots of race car friends that are out. Sounds like.
And you know who isn't out?
Who's that?
Is Jay and Brian, because they got their stuff fixed and they're on the way.
I know that's right. They're driving right now. Right now, headed this way. That's exciting, and it really is cool for them to have thrashed through that and had the help from the folks that helped them do that. I mean, it's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So Josh here, and we got Devin. They just pulled in. Alan Whitaker and Donna back here just pulled in. Y'all, have I told you I like this car?
Yeah, I think we talked about it earlier.
Yeah, are you sure?
I think so.
Okay, just wanted to make sure because it has factory styled seats. I think in the interview you said they're factory seats, but there's no way you can go mid sevens in a factory seat, right? I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know. But it's a beautiful build. Absolutely beautiful build.
It looks very nice.
Every single piece and part about that car is gorgeous. And they're having a blast. This is the first time that he's driven in a drag drive. He's co-piloted several times, but first time he's driven.
And that's a car that Devin wired too, right?
Yeah. I think he wired and plumbed the car. Powered by twin turbo SMX setup from Steve Morris, and just absolutely gets down. And that's right. We were talking about it earlier because he was 40 miles an hour on the back half. So
yep,
pretty crazy. Normal car is 18 to 25, maybe something like that. So pretty intense. Color matched on the trailer here. I don't know if you can see that. Color matched there. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talk about built for drag and drive, and that's what this car was built for. The whole intention was a drag week built for drag and drive car that he could take out and go anywhere in. He put several hundred miles on the car before bringing it. Worked out.
Uh-oh, I think we lost Mike here. Let's give him a second and see if he can come back on. Not sure if he's got connection issues out there or what. Seemed like it was going pretty well, though. So I covered all of the notes that I had for stats and everything. We always want to thank our sponsors. So again, thanks to Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. Looks like Mike is back. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry, got a phone call. Yeah. That's the way it works. You can't really do airplane mode out here.
That's right.
Yep. So yeah, we're headed to South Carolina tomorrow to Aiken to the House of Hook, and look forward to seeing some really, really fast times. Oh, Alex Corella just pulled in, another 850 racer. He's been highly competitive in the past, not as competitive this round, but again, you got to make the week.
I think he's sitting like sixth though. He's not too far down.
Yeah, and at any moment, I mean, just like Lynette. How was the drive? Yeah. Nice. I gotta get some food here in a minute.
How far is it from where you're at to the next track?
About an hour. We're about, I think, 45 or 50 miles.
So not too bad. You're gonna drive there and camp the rest of the night.
Yep. So I'll camp tonight, and then I'll probably get a hotel room tomorrow night. We stacked it last night and charged everything that I had plugins for, and so I missed the GoPro, which allowed me to get rollers today, but only a few. So I intend to get all that charged again tomorrow night before the weekend at CMAX.
Yep. So we'll definitely have pictures out every day from the event, and if you get some at ZMAX, I'll definitely get those once I get back from one guy's garage, because we'll have a bunch of photos from there as well.
Yep, I'm excited. And guys, if you remember earlier in the episode, Eric was talking about maybe coming to Race Week for at least a few days. I mean, a flight from Chicago to Denver has to be pretty inexpensive. So maybe we figure out a way to make that happen. If you'd like to see Eric hang out with us at Race Week, and I've never been into the Rocky Mountains of that side of stuff either. So, it'd be a good time for both of us to be there, and we can do what we do, video and interview people and get amazing pictures, because there's going to be some. That was probably one of the hardest things about the route stop yesterday is we climbed this crazy mountain, right? We get to the very top of it. We're like, oh my gosh, I figured we've got to be 5,000 feet. Nope, 2,700. So we're going to go way higher than that in the Rockies for Race Week. So I hope you can do that. I hope that everybody peer pressures you into making that decision, and I hope I can too. So, what else we got? Anything else for tonight?
The big thing is Bandimere closing too. Like this could be my only chance to go there. So that's really what's pushing me to try to figure out if I can get the time off work, and can I get a flight out there in a car, and can I get there quick enough? And they race at Bandimere on Tuesday and Thursday, so.
I mean, can you fly in Wednesday night maybe, and that way you're only missing Thursday, Friday at work? We'll talk about this for sure, because I think it would be a lot of fun for us to link up out there for sure.
Yeah, I do too.
That'll be a good event. Plus, I mean, again, maybe the last opportunity we get to see Bandimere. I don't know when I'll be back out there.
Yeah, so otherwise, that is all the notes that I have
for tonight. We've done a great job. I've been carrying around my notes under my arm. I think we hit everything that I wanted to get. I'm going to look at a few stats surrounding Dustin and Steve, and see kind of where we're at with all of that. What they've accomplished in that class so far. See kind of what we're looking at. We're obviously looking at what could be a record run. I'd like to see what they would need to, can they run 20s the rest of the week and still end up with teens, as far as like a low teen average of 5-teen or something like that. So 12, something like that. So I'll be doing some math tonight. I've got 2 videos that are important for me to edit, which is the 850 runs from today. I got every car at least once in the class that is competitive. So. I mean, listen, there's nothing cooler than cars.
Yeah.
There's nothing cooler.
Not at all.
When folks started pulling, I'll tell this story real quick and then we'll go. When we pulled into PDRA, I got there early, got there Saturday, and those are hardcore drag racers. The guys that race, full on PDRA are very similar to what obviously very similar to what an HRA is and all that stuff. Probably even more so, because of, Pro Mod for that class, Pro Boost, Pro Nitrous, all that stuff. Well, when we started pulling in, the guys that were still there were losing their mind. like I came in with Hargett and Brian Acton and Jay, and it was so cool to walk in and see like all of those PDRA guys that literally race cars that will never be that fast in drag and drive because you just can't build a car that's that light and that race oriented and still drive it on the street, right? So we go over and we start. They are just flocking around Hargett's car, and they're like, "How fast does this thing go? This thing's got a stock hood. What are you talking? No stretched front end. It's all So hearing those guys talk about all that, it was really crazy. Oh, hang on. There's another group down here that's hiding from us. It wasn't trying to be caught, I'm sure. The Deal Brothers. How did today go? Went okay? Did you end up with a decent pass today? No.
No, we did not get a decent pass in today.
Well, I saw a couple that were like, you spun off the hit, and I was like, oh man, I hate that for them.
Yeah, it's been a battle these last few days, man. You know, we thought we'd done a lot of testing, had the car pretty lined out. We won a personal best mile an hour at 182 so far.
Yeah.
But didn't have the ET to go with it. So hopefully tomorrow, man, the prep will be there for us, and try to get ourselves back in the running.
Yeah, it should be ready for you guys tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get it back in the running.
Well, good luck. Love those dudes.
Yeah.
They are campaigning two cars out here. I don't know why. One 850 car, and then that is their orange car. That is a Super Street small block power rider car and runs way into the 70s. So, and then looks like this Fox Body is just here to hang out and see all the other cool cars. But it's getting dark over here. Y'all want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the views. Oh my gosh, dude, have you seen the views on Instagram and YouTube? It's been going nuts.
Yep.
It's been awesome.
And did Bryant, the second fastest car at the event so far, did he say he was watching us while he was driving or riding?
Does it get any cooler than that?
No, that's pretty
I don't
cool.
think it does. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna bounce. We're gonna go find some food. Eric, you can stay on. I don't care what you do, but I'm gonna get out of here.
I'm out
All
of
right,
here.
guys, thanks so much.
See you guys.